everybody, welcome to blog number 7. Like most sportsmen, if I'm not out after predators, I like to pursue deer. For sure, there's nothing like putting your hand on a nice rack. And to help me do that, I use some deer scents. Now, Fred Truax from Daybreak Deer Scents out in Fulton, New York, is offering up some high quality products, and I think we should support him. The deer facility he's working with is top notch, 100% real, no preservatives, always fresh. It's a great thing. Check out Daybreak Deer Scents, and I'll put that web address on the description on this blog, and also we'll put a little graphic up for you. Let's support somebody local. It's a great product. A lot of the guys are having great success with it. I can't wait to try it this week. Hi everybody, and welcome to blog number 7 of Full Phase Predator Calling. This one's pretty neat. It's sort of exciting. I'm going to go over a neat tactic for calling in red fox and coyotes, something a little different you can do to get some success when other tactics might fail. Just another cheap plug, check out my shirt. So we're talking about barking, so I went with the Barker Outdoors. Jeffrey Barker turned his passion into business. He opened up a storefront out there in Western New York. He's a great guy. He won't try to upsell you on the merch. So if you need anything with thermal or night vision, check out Barker Outdoors, and I'll put that address in the description. Let's get back to barking. When a coyote howls, people want to howl back. Then you end up with a big long howling battle that sometimes doesn't end favorably. That's why instead of howling, I bark. Same thing with fox. When you hear those fox barking, you can bark back at them or use some other vocalizations and have some great success. We're going to take a look at that too. I think our first hunt here involves a coyote that took a while to come in, but he came to prey distress sounds, because what happened in this hunt, and you'll see the video, I saw a white blurb out there. It was a super foggy night. I assumed that blob was a fox mousing in the field. Good thing I didn't take a long shot at it, as I'll explain in a minute. So as I'm trying a plethora of sounds to get this fox to commit, which he ignored all of, another critter could be seen coming far behind him. The critter approached I think it was ranting redbird at this time. He came in, he went right over to the other white blob and continued his trek to me. Well, he turned the corner of this fence and he caught my scent and he tried to run, and I got lucky and made a running shot on this coyote, and that was pretty neat. What about that first critter? What was that? Turns out it was a deer that was bedded down. That's why you never want to take a pot shot at anything out there without knowing it. You know, the foggy conditions made it hard to identify, but there was no mistake in this coyote. Let's check this footage out. At first, I thought I'd missed the running coyote, but when I stood up with my thermal scanner, I saw him lying motionless in the distance.
You can do it! You can do it all night long!
The next hunt involves a red fox. He was out in a cut cornfield when I approached. As I was setting up, he started to emit those mating barks. Boo, boo, boo. Well, I did the same back through my electronic collar, and he came. Funny thing is, all of a sudden he took a left and started heading back towards the farmhouse. I was a little perplexed. If he didn't make those sounds, I would have assumed he was a cat or something returning home. So he was going down the laneway towards the house. I switched sounds on him, and he turned around and came back to me. There was a few hedgerows in between us, and I lost sight of him. I tried a few more sounds. All of a sudden, he popped through the closest hedgerow, and I made a pretty clean shot on him, dropped him in his tracks. Let's check that footage out. This next hunt is truly the epitome of barking in a coyote. But before I explain it, I need to explain something, and if you've seen it on social media, you'll know I'm missing like crazy, especially with my trusty Remington 700 and my Pulsar Thermion. For some reason, I'm missing a lot of fox. It's heartbreaking, really. So much so last night, I put the gun away. Put it in the penalty box, if you will. Now, along with me in the truck always rides my CZ204. Okay, and on that, I've got an ATN night vision scope. So that was called into play last night. Got out of my truck, I could hear coyotes to the south. Pretty close. Close enough to get excited about and think that I could play. Now, the wind was out of the south, so things were in my favor. Proceeded with my setup, put the call out, did some light distress sounds at first. Lo and behold, instead of the sounds, the next sounds I heard weren't of the howling coyotes. To my left, there was a lone howler in the woods. He howled twice and he started barking. I changed gears. I started barking back. Not too much, probably 4 barks overall. Then I let out Fox Pro's young coyote howl, 2 of them. And then I sat in silence. And then I pulled out the real coup de grace here. I played frantic pup distress very, very low. I scanned with my AGM scanner, and I saw the coyote coming along the woodline. I couldn't believe it. I was excited. I'd already turned my rifle that way. And by the way, I've gotten rid of my bog head saddle mount tripod, and I went with my old Stony Points. That's how desperate I am to get a shot. So anyhow, here's the coyote, and I can see he's a monster. And I'm adjusting my scope, and I go to hit record, but instead I hit night or day vision. So now I couldn't see anything. I'm frantically pushing buttons. Coyote's still staring at me. He's looking at the glow of the IR. They don't see the beam, but they for sure see that red glow. He's about 80 yards away. Well, I get dialed in. I shoot with the 204. The coyote spins once and drops on the spot. I was elated. He's a great big coyote. Sadly, he had all sorts of mange, but he's still a hoss. That was a great hunt. Let's check out. Oh, you know what? I didn't get the footage, but I did have some fun with the AGM. So at least you'll see a picture of that big coyote. Here's the last video segment for this blog. Happened yesterday. I was deer hunting in the morning. Here comes a coyote. Actually, this coyote saw me as I slowly tried to get my bow. It was on to me, and she left the area. Then at noon, I returned back to the same spot to hunt. Actually, 1 o'clock. I was going to clean out my hunting blind because I got infested with mice. Anyhow, I'm cleaning, and I hear the notification from my spy point camera, which was about 100 yards away. Ping. I look, it's a coyote. I look out the window of the blind, but it was gone. That was at 2 o'clock. Then as I deer hunted, I could see the farmer cutting the hayfield behind me. I thought to myself, I need to return to that field tonight because the predators are going to be working it for mice. Sure enough, that's what I did. When I got there, there was 2 or 3 predators. I could see them through the thermal jumping and hopping, but the wind was going right to them. I proceeded, I set up. I looked, I saw a coyote vacating the area. It was actually going where that trail cam picture was, that one I caught earlier. I played field mount distress. Coyote turned around and I took a nice shot. You'll see it on video. And looking at it closely, that was the same coyote that I've been getting on multiple trail camera pictures. I hope you enjoyed the footage, and I hope you enjoyed this blog. This coyote was a real movie star. She was always posing for the camera.